Breaking news coming out, you guys. Take a look. This one actually coming out tomorrow, as it is already tomorrow in the Middle East, November the 2nd. This article says that B-52 bombers, missile destroyers. The U.S. announces new Middle East deployment. This coming out just in the past couple of hours, and it is confirmed not only from foreign news media outlets, but take a look. We're hearing the Pentagon bolsters U.S. presence in the Middle East with B-52 bombers and warships. They are on their way. Here's another one coming out. U.S. warns Iran with enhanced military assets, including B-52 bombers. They are on their way to the Middle East as things are escalating. And take a look at this, you guys. Immediate release. Statement from the Pentagon. Press Secretary Major General Pat Ryder on the Middle East Force posture updates. Pentagon Press Secretary General Major Pat Ryder provides the following statement: in keeping with our commitment to the protection of the U.S. citizens and forces in the Middle East, the defense of Israel, and the de-escalation through deterrence and diplomacy, the Secretary of Defense ordered the deployment of additional ballistic missile defense destroyers, fighter squadron and tank aircrafts, and several U.S. Air Force B-52 long-range strike bombers to the region. These forces will begin to arrive in coming months as the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group prepares to depart. We're hearing that this came out today, just a couple hours ago, November the 1st. You can see the date from the press release. And take a look at this, you guys. This is coming as we're hearing Iran's Ayatollah orders retaliatory attacks against Israel after the IDF strike deemed too big to ignore. We heard the U.S. warn, step away, de-escalate. If you strike back, there will be consequences. Iran saying that the attack was too big to ignore. There will be retaliations. Iran signals possible change in its nuclear doctrine coming out today as well, and says that it has the capacity to make nuclear weapons at this time. Iran also warns that it could seek nuclear weapons in the face of existential threat, saying that they are feeling like there's an existence threat to their nation, and as a result, they could seek out nuclear weapons to hit back against Israel and the United States. And take a look, I shared with you earlier today that Netanyahu signaled Tehran's nuclear program could be next target as Iran plans their future attack, saying, listen, if you strike Israel, Netanyahu says that hitting nuclear facilities is back on the table. We are going to disregard the requests of the Biden administration and move forward with hitting what we see as a potential existential threat to Israel. And take a look at this article coming out as well, you guys. Netanyahu, stopping Iran's nuclear program is the supreme objective, saying that they need to eradicate the threat against the nation of Israel. So, like I said, these articles coming out just in the past couple of hours regarding the B-52 bomber deployment by the United States to the Middle East. We're hearing it is on its way, and there is a lot of movement going from the United States to the Middle East to address the conflict that is currently taking place, as we're hearing things are escalating, and Iran is talking a lot about nuclear weapons. And I shared this with you in previous videos. There is a lot going on right now in the world with discussions about nuclear bombs, nuclear warheads, nuclear technology. Things are escalating. We're hearing that right now, that North Korea this week did a successful test launch, went up in the air for 87 minutes, landed in the middle of the ocean between North Korea and Japan. And they said that this was confirmation. This was a successful test launch of their nuclear ballistic missile capabilities, their ICBMs, which would carry a nuclear warhead, that now Iran has the ability to send over a nuclear weapon to the United States and strike anywhere in the U.S. They said Washington, D.C., Florida, Maine, Texas, California. There is nothing off limits for the capabilities now of North Korea. In addition to that, we're hearing warnings coming out from Russia as things are intensifying between them and Ukraine. The United States saying if those North Korean troops fight against Ukraine. We're hearing that North Korean troops were sent to Russia. They're currently being trained there. The United States warned if you put them in the war situation and they attack Ukraine, they will return to North Korea in body bags, and we will lift the limits on Ukraine and allow them to use any weapons against Russia. Russia has said that if this happens, it will mean all-out war with the United States and NATO, and that World War III will not be subject to Europe alone. This is a direct threat to the United States from Russia. In addition to that, we also have China and Taiwan's conflict raging as well. So we have Israel, Iran, North Korea, South Korea, China, Taiwan, and Russia and Ukraine. And now we're hearing that just as of a couple of hours ago today, November the 1st, articles coming out on this tomorrow, November the 2nd, as it's already tomorrow in the other side of the world, as this just came out a couple of hours ago. They are saying that the B-52 bombers are on their way over to the Middle East. This is an update happening right now. So I'm going to share with you the latest information coming out on this. I already read for you the press release. We're going to dive into some more of the details as to what's unfolding with the conflict as it is developing. It is escalating, and we're hearing that nothing less than this should be expected as we approach elections and things are intensifying. And we've heard from Israel that they are preparing, and so is Iran now, their finances, their budgets for long, drawn-out war. They're saying that this is nowhere near the end. This is just the beginning of the conflicts that we're anticipating to see happening in the Middle East. And we're hearing that they're calling it a tit-for-tat. Israel is retaliating against Iran, Iran retaliating against Israel, and back and forth. There is currently no end in sight. We're just going to be seeing how far they're willing to go until somebody finally says, okay, we've had enough of what is taking place. And now there are nuclear threats coming out from both sides. Iran saying that they feel this is an existential threat. They should be able to seek out nuclear weapons. And Israel saying, that's fine. We have no problem with hitting all of your nuclear facilities and crippling your ability to do so. And all this taking place, and now the United States responding, sending over those B-52 bombers to the Middle East to address the conflict. So U.S. troops, U.S. equipment being deployed to be involved further in the conflict going on in the Middle East. So I'm going to go ahead and get you guys caught up on the latest. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, before we do me a quick favor. If you appreciate the updates, don't forget, take a quick second, hit that like button for me. I see we currently have 2,439 people on with me live, 567 likes. Hitting that like button, if we could get half of the room to do so. If you appreciate the breaking news updates, even though I know this is not what we want to hear, that things are escalating, but if you appreciate knowing what's going on with the breaking news live as soon as it comes out, don't forget to take a quick second, hit that like button for me. Also, subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. Why not? I'll keep you up to speed on everything. And what I do is I cite all the sources. I'm going to put it on the screen, read right from it so you can see the sources, the dates, know where everything's coming from, and they're going to be hyperlinked in the description so you can click on them for yourself. Go read the articles and see for yourself that it is the latest that is taking place right now. Always want to hold myself accountable to the community so you feel confident in the sources that I'm providing for you. And in addition to that, hit that like button. And also YouTube let me know recently that the super chats, they help spread this out further as well. And I see one from Joshua JRO49. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Appreciate that a ton. Not necessary, but greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for the support to the channel. I see that he sent two of those. Oh no, another one coming out from Adventures. Let's see here. I can't see the full name on it. Adventures with it looks like Cherry. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that a ton. I will continue to keep you up to date on everything that helps out the channel, helps spread this out further. But like I said, subscribing, if this is your first time here, is totally free. I'll keep you up to speed on everything. And like I said, all the sources are going to be cited in the description, linked. And let's go ahead and get you caught up as to what is going on, because we're hearing that things are escalating, intensifying in just the past couple of hours with these B-52s that are on their way, and this announcement coming out from the Pentagon as things are escalating in the Middle East. So let's go ahead and get right to it, you guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at this article coming out here. Now, like I said, this one coming out from a foreign source. This is coming out from France, coming out November the 2nd, 2024. So this one's already coming out tomorrow, and it says B-52 bombers, missile destroyers. U.S. announces new Middle East deployment. Israel launched significant strikes against Iran on October 26th, devastating military infrastructure to the Islamic Republic while steering clear of critical nuclear and oil sites. Now, the article says the United States announced Friday today the deployment of additional military assets to the Middle East, including ballistic missile defense destroyers. So there is concern about ballistic missiles, ICBMs, being sent over to Israel from Iran. So the United States announced Friday the deployment of additional military assets to the Middle East, including ballistic missile defense destroyers and long-range B-52 bomber aircrafts, serving as a warning to Iran as it and Israel trade tit-for-tat strikes. Should Iran, its partners, or its proxies use this moment to target American personnel or interest in the region, the United States will take every measure necessary to defend our people, the Pentagon spokesperson, Major General Pat Ryder, said in a statement, which I just shared with you a little while ago. The additional resources built on previous U.S. defense deployment to the Middle East in support of Israel, including THAAD missile defense system deployed to the country late last month, operated by American troops on the ground. So the United States sending over quite a bit of additional support to help out Israel with the conflict that is going on. Joshua, thank you for the additional $5 super chat. Don S., thank you. It says, thank you, Steve, for keeping us informed. You are much appreciated. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I will continue to keep you up to date. Laszlo Pawent, thank you for the $10 super chat. Plan, prepare, and pray. Amen to that. Yes. Monsignor Miles, thank you for the $1 super chat. I appreciate that a ton. I will continue to keep you guys up to speed on everything. Now, reading on, the article says the additional resources built on previous U.S. defense deployment to the Middle East in the support of Israel, including the THAAD missile defense system deployed to the country late last month, operated by American troops on the ground. The new forces will begin to arrive in the coming months, Ryder said. Israel launched significant strikes against Iran on October 26, devastating military infrastructure to the Islamic Republic while steering clear of critical nuclear and oil sites. Now, this was a request by the United States. The United States had said, please do not hit them. Russia warned Israel, do not hit their nuclear facilities. And we had heard that Israel was likely targeting one of three particular elements in their attack. It was either going to be nuclear facilities, oil refineries, or military assets. They went for military assets, but now we're hearing that Iran will be retaliating again, and Israel is saying, that's fine. Nuclear sites are still on the table for us. We can go ahead and eradicate that threat. Iran has carried out two major attacks against Israel in 2024, one in April after a strike on its consulate in Damascus that was blamed on Israel, and another in October that Tehran said was in response to the assassination of the leaders of armed groups backed in the Middle East. Observers warn the continued military operations between the regional rivals could escalate even further, confirming, you guys, this is not the end. We're hearing this could be increasing. This is just the beginning, they're saying. Adventures, thank you so much. Cheryl Marie, Adventures with Cheryl Marie, thank you so much for the $2 super chat and letting me know I couldn't see the rest of the name on there. And Yoda4, thank you for the $5 super chat, says, National Guard member here, watch your video every day as we await notifications for deployment to the Middle East and Europe. Thank you so much for the support, the $5 super chat. I appreciate that you are constantly staying up to date. I will continue to do so to keep you up to date with information as it unfolds. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that a ton. Now let's go ahead and continue reading on. Let's get some more information for you guys coming out here, as we are hearing that there will be retaliatory attacks that are going to be coming, you guys. Things are escalating. And take a look. Now, I shared this with you earlier today, but this is going to give us a little bit more detail and a reminder. Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah, he orders retaliatory attacks against Israel after the IDF strike is deemed too big to ignore. They're saying they cannot back down, otherwise it will be shown as a sign of weakness in the culture in the Middle East. They're saying they need to strike back. Iranian supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, he has instructed his forces to prepare a direct attack against Israel after deeming the Jewish nation's retaliatory strike last week too big to ignore, according to a new report. Now, while Khamenei attempted to downplay to the public the extent of Israel's attack on Tehran's military facilities, Privately, he greenlit plans for a counterattack in a meeting with his Supreme National Security Council. 3 Iranian officials told the New York Times. The Ayatollah allegedly made his decision on Monday after reviewing the damage report from his military officials, which detailed the strikes across Tehran's missile production plants and the defense systems, and some of the reports coming out saying that basically right now Iran is naked in regards to their defense systems, absolutely being destroyed and wiped out by this. And originally we had heard them saying that nothing happened, very much so downplaying it, but after they assessed what was actually done, it was extremely powerful and precise and shocked Iran. They didn't even realize how much devastation was done until later, and now they're actually saying it was so bad there must be a retaliation. Now, Khamenei told his generals that the attack, which also ended the lives of 4 Iranian soldiers, could not go unanswered, saying a lack of a response would mean admitting defeat to Israel, 3 officials had said. Iran's response to the Zionist aggression is definite, said General Ali Fadavi, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps deputy commander, according to Iranian media. We have never left an aggression unanswered in 40 years. We are capable of destroying all that the Zionists possess with one operation, they have said. So without a doubt, things are about to escalate. Israel carried out a 4-hour operation last Friday consisting of 100 jets, spy planes, and refueling aircrafts to conduct its largest ever strike on Iran, bombing military facilities tied to the Islamic Republic's own ballistic missile barrage against the Jewish state. A tit-for-tat cycle has raised fears that an all-out war is inevitable in the Middle East between Israel and Iran and its terrorist proxies. Excuse me, the article jumped on me here. The attacks so far have targeted military facilities, but Iran has previously warned that it would do anything to ensure the safety of its people. Despite the warning, the 3 officials told the Times that Iran's response would stick to dozens of military targets inside of Israel. A repeated exchange of fire, however, may not benefit Tehran given that Israel has bolstered its defenses since the last attack on October 1st, including the delivery of the American Terminal High Altitude Area Defense, or THAAD system, from the United States. Iran, however, is poised to suffer greater damage after Israel's strike last week destroyed several of its missile defense systems, a warning to Tehran not to retaliate. So they're saying, if you hit back, we have taken down a lot of your defense systems, and we will cause major damage to the nation of Iran. Now, the boastful talk by the Iranian regime's heads cannot conceal and compensate for the fact that Israel now has greater freedom to operate in Iran than ever before, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said of the attack on Thursday. And we are hearing that is exactly what has taken place. For the most part, if there is a major attack from Israel, Iran at this time, they are saying, is defenseless. Now, that is why Iran is saying that they're considering changing their nuclear doctrine, and it says Iran warns that it might seek nuclear weapons in the face of an existential threat that could be coming. Bobby Martin 1, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I appreciate that a ton. I will continue to keep you up to speed on everything. The country is ready for war following Israel's recent attack on military sites near Tehran. Iran is capable of making nuclear weapons and will change its doctrine to allow their production if it faces an existential threat, a senior advisor to the supreme leader of Iran has said. Kamal Karahazi, head of the Islamic Republic's Strategic Council of Foreign Relations, also said the country was, quote, ready for war, amid speculation that it was planning to launch a fresh attack on Israel. We are ready for war, but we do not want to escalate, because we have currently proven our ability to detour from doing so, he told Lebanon-based and pro-Iranian broadcasters. Now, the matter is up to the Israelis. If they really want to continue, we will respond to them. Our missile capabilities are clear to everyone, and everyone believes in them. And we have proven that during our operations, he said. Intelligence officials have suggested Iran could attack within days, possibly through a drone attack launched from one of its proxy groups in Iraq. It is unclear whether Iran plans to attack Israel before or after next week's U.S. elections, but Mr. Karahazi claimed Israel was to blame for increasingly instability in the region. Tehran was left reeling after Israel used dozens of aircrafts, including F-35 stealth jets, refuelers, and drones in a retaliatory attack in the early hours of last Saturday morning. Now, Israel was responding after the Islamic Republic launched 180 missiles towards Tel Aviv and Jerusalem earlier in October. Now, the Israeli military avoided directly targeting Iran's nuclear program in last weekend's strike, although it hit a base linked to nuclear experiments. Iran does not currently possess a nuclear weapon, and there has so far been no indication that Tehran has decided to weaponize the program. However, experts believe that it could produce sufficient weapons-grade enriched uranium for a weapon in just a week. And here you can see Iran's missile range at this time. You can see that it is reaching out. I believe it is the third or the fourth ring in that region right there is Israel. And they're saying they could hit that with a third or a fourth missile on this scale here. You can see the scale, the human scale, and you can see the ranges. And they have 2003, 2007, they begin to have these ones in service. So they have the capabilities, they are saying. Developing the weapon would take months, and mounting it on a warhead capable of reaching Israel for another enemy could take even longer. Karahazi said that although Iran has the technology, the technical capability to produce nuclear weapons, it is currently held back by the fatwa, or the religious decree issued in the early 2000s by the Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. He added that this could change if the country's existence was under threat. If Iran faces an existential threat, it will change its nuclear doctrine. We now have the necessary ability to produce nuclear weapons, and the only obstacle is the fatwa of the leader, which has banned the production of nukes, he said. Now, he also said that the Islamic Republic of Iran would increase cooperation with Russia, which has been supplying them with drones and missiles. Russia and China seek to build a new international system in order to be free from the West's authority, he said in the statement as well. Now, we were seeing this with Russia and North Korea already. Now we're hearing Iran as well. Karahazi added that it will increase the range of its missiles beyond a self-imposed limit of 1,250 miles if Europe ignores Iran's territorial integrity. Now, while Israel did not attack Iran's nuclear facility, last weekend's strikes make it easier to do so, having severely damaged the country's air defenses. All four of Iran's Russian-made S-300 air defense systems have now been taken out, meaning it is easier for Israeli fighter jets to safely enter Iranian airspace. Chris Bigger, an imagery expert who used to work for the American National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, told The Economist that satellite images show evidence of a destroyed radar to the southwest of Tehran and another system on the western border. During last week's strike, only F-35 stealth fighters entered Iranian airspace, while F-15 and 16 jets fired long-range missiles from neighboring Iraq. To strike nuclear sites buried deep underground, missiles would have to be fired closer to the targets, but the destruction of air defense systems and radars could make this easier. So we're hearing that they potentially have this all set up now after this last strike to go further and cause more devastation and hit those nuclear facilities that are currently in Iran. And we're hearing that Netanyahu is signaling that this is not off the table. They've got no problem with this. And you can see Netanyahu is actually saying stopping Iran's nuclear program is the supreme objective. Stopping Iran's nuclear program remains the primary goal of the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's policies, he said on Tuesday. Now, let me just go ahead and check the date on this one. This came out Thursday, October the 31st, 2024. Here you can see it. It is cited in the description for you. Rad Dad of 4, thank you so much for the $4 super chat. Thank you, Steve. We appreciate the updates. We appreciate you, and God bless. Thank you so much, and God bless you, Rad Dad. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I will continue to keep you guys up to date. Let's go ahead and take a look at this and see what it was that Benjamin Netanyahu had to say regarding hitting the nuclear program. And do me a favor, I see we got 2,800 people live with me in the room, 2,900 exactly now, 1,427 likes. If you haven't done so yet, please hit the like button. Help spread this out further, along with super chats. And if this is your first time here, subscribe to stay up to date. It is totally free. Stopping Iran's nuclear program remains the primary goal of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's policy, he said on Thursday. Halting the nuclear program has been and remains our chief concern, Netanyahu told Israeli soldiers. Preventing Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons is the supreme objective that he has set for Israel's armed forces and all security services, Netanyahu said. He said that he could not go into detail about his plans because that would put achieving the goal in jeopardy. But he said Israel currently has more freedom of action in Iran and, if necessary, could strike anywhere in Iran. Israel views Iran's nuclear program as an existential threat, particularly in light of the fact that Iran could potentially use it to develop nuclear weapons. Prior to Israel's latest retaliatory strikes against Iran last week, there were concerns that nuclear facilities could also be hit, leading to further escalation. Israel said that its Air Force hit missile manufacturing facilities. Netanyahu spoke at an officers' school in southern Israel known as Bahad 1. So there you have it, you guys. We are hearing that those nuclear facilities could be next on the list. Heather Thomas, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Thank you from Arkansas. Our mill here has been moving nonstop. Wow, thank you for that. And thank you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate that a ton. I will continue to keep you guys up to date on everything. Now, let me know your thoughts. All this that is going on, absolutely incredible. We're hearing that Israel, they are likely going to be potentially hitting nuclear facilities. Do you think that they should go ahead and hit those nuclear facilities? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you think yes, go ahead and drop a 1. If you think no, go ahead and drop a 2. But we had heard former President Donald Trump say, go ahead and let them hit it. Why not let Israel hit this existential threat? Why are we not allowing them to go ahead and do this? Drop a 1 if you agree. Just go ahead and let Israel do it. Now, the other thing to take into consideration is the fact that after that last airstrike, Israel has essentially crippled so much of the defenses of Iran. They're seeing this now as a prime opportunity to go ahead and hit those nuclear facilities. If there ever was a time to go ahead and do what it was you wanted to do, now is the time, as literally there are strategists coming out and saying Iran at this time, after that retaliatory strike from Israel, is essentially, they're saying, naked. They are exposed to attack. So if we consider the nuclear facilities of Iran an existential threat to Israel, but not only that, we also heard Donald Trump say an existential threat to the United States, now would be the time to hit them while their defenses are down. So let me know your thoughts on this. Do you feel like they should do that? Drop a 1 if yes. If you think no, they should not be doing that, go ahead and drop a 2. As we had heard warnings from the U.S. saying don't do it. With the Biden administration, with their current policies, said do not hit the nuclear facilities. We heard warnings coming out from Russia to Israel, do not hit those nuclear facilities. But now we're hearing that Benjamin Netanyahu is saying that this is the primary goal, that they should move forward with it. And we're hearing it's currently on the table under consideration. So what we're hearing is there is going to be a retaliatory strike coming from Iran against Israel. And then after that, Israel will be planning their retaliatory strike, and it could be on nuclear facilities. And at this time, as I shared with you, coming out, the breaking news in just the past couple of hours, you guys, we're hearing that the United States has deployed those B-52 bombers that are on their way to the Middle East. The United States has announced they're sending over additional troops, arms, equipment, getting things ready. And I shared with you the statement coming out from the Pentagon on the deployment of these B-52 bombers and warships on their way to the Middle East. So things are escalating significantly. Major General Pat Ryder of the United States released that statement from the Pentagon. For those of you hopping on a little bit late, let me go ahead and share it for you on the screen again here. This coming out, the statement from the Pentagon from Press Secretary Major General Pat Ryder, and this being confirmed from articles coming out in just the past couple of hours. In fact, articles coming out from the other side of the world already tomorrow, November the 2nd, 2024, that B-52 bombers, they have been deployed to the Middle East, the United States taking it up a notch with their warnings to Iran as things are escalating and significantly. Now, let me know your thoughts. I saw all those ones pouring in, and a lot of people saying that we are already in the middle of World War III. The U.S., it is already here, and we are already in the middle of all this that is going on. Donna and Renz, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I see people hopping on a little bit late asking what is going on. Things have escalated significantly. U.S. B-52 bombers are in the air, and we're hearing warships are on their way. The call has been made just a couple of hours ago, and we are sending over reinforcements to the Middle East for the escalating conflict that is currently taking place between Israel and Iran. And we're hearing things are not slowing down. They're just speeding up. And Iran is saying they could potentially seek out a nuclear weapon and have one available in a week if they feel an existential threat. And we're hearing that they will be striking soon. And Israel is also saying, that's okay, we have no problem with hitting those nuclear facilities. As a matter of fact, eliminating the existential threat of nuclear weapons against Israel is one of our primary goals. We're okay with doing that. And a lot of people in the comments now dropping those ones saying, hey, now is the time to do it. While Iran's military assets and defenses have been wiped out in the last retaliatory attack by Israel, if there was ever a time to hit Iran's nuclear facilities, now would be the time. And a lot of people saying, yes, they agree. And Donald Trump saying this as well. So we will see, because if Donald Trump gets into the presidency and becomes the president of the United States on November 5th, if he is elected, that means that we could see a major change in policy for the conflict in the Middle East. And Iran knows this as well. So we're going to be seeing how things unfold here. We actually have heard them say, we actually heard a report I shared with you earlier that Iran said they might hold off on their retaliatory attack until after the elections, because if they do it now, it might encourage voters to vote for Donald Trump, knowing that he is wanting to be more aggressive with Iran. So they're saying they might wait till after the elections. So essentially, Iran's vote is going for Kamala Harris, feeling like she will be less aggressive and continue the current policies that are in place at this time. F. Joe Biden, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Every time I read that name, Biden is just stirring the pot. So Trump has to deal with it when he comes into office. Yeah, things are definitely escalating. You know, guys, I am pretty tired. I read that name and it just got me cracking up right now. I appreciate the super chat and the support. And you guys, things are definitely increasing and escalating. All of these articles are linked in the description below. They're cited, so all you got to do is click them, check them out for yourself. I'll continue to keep you guys up to date. If you guys appreciate it, do me a favor. Hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date. I'll keep you up to date on everything that's going on as things are increasing. And I know people want to know in real time what is taking place. As soon as I get information, I'll continue to do so. And I see people laughing. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's because I'm a little tired. When I read it, I heard myself say it out loud. I just had a good laugh. So I see people putting in the comments, yeah, F Joe Biden. I see people saying, let's go, Brandon. Bobby Martin, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hopefully cooler heads will prevail. The table has to be set. Yes. You know, I will continue to keep you up to date. Let us pray for our nation that things do de-escalate. I believe that prayer works. But regardless of what unfolds, you guys, I will make sure that I keep you up to speed on everything. I'll share with you all the latest reports, let you know exactly what is taking place so you know what is going on. Mary B, thank you for the thumbs up. She's saying nice, saying thank you to Bobby Martin. I see more people responding to the Joe Biden comment. Yeah, I'll keep you guys up to date. Thank you for the laugh. I appreciate that. And thank you for the super chats, the support. And like I said, I will continue to keep you guys up to date on everything so you know exactly what's taking place here on the channel. And also, I see a lot of people asking about the second channel. Yes, if you have not joined me on there and you want to stay up to date on elections and other things, you're going to want to check out the other channel. I'll pull it up for you really quick so you guys can see it, and I will drop a link to it for you. And just to clarify, there is an imposter channel that is posing as me, so make sure that you're going to the correct one. It looks like this. Let me put it on the screen for you. So it is this one right here. We just hit 5,000 subscribers today, or followers, I guess, on this particular platform. This one right here that says The Steve Ram, that is not me. Do not follow that one, and also be sure to report it. Now, when you click on this one right here, you'll see this is what the channel currently looks like. I've been putting out several videos on this one, staying consistent on it so you guys can know which one to go to. And what I'm going to do is right now, for those of you that are asking that want to do that, because that is where you're going to be getting more updates from me on various topics, specifically coming on November 5th. I'm dropping it in the comments for you, and I'm pinning it for you, so be sure to go ahead and click on that link. It'll take you right to it. You can go hit follow. It's totally free, and there's going to be content coming out specifically on that channel, you guys. Somebody's saying an imposter. Yes, please beware of imposters. Even here on YouTube, people are letting me know, and this has happened for years. People create little profiles with my face, and they say it's Steve Ram. They try to trick people into sending them money or buying Bitcoin or doing some sort of grant, all these weird things. That is not me. I have one channel on YouTube that is the Steve Ram channel. Actually, I've got a couple of other channels too, but I'm never asking people for money or Bitcoin. And I've got one channel here on this new platform, and then I'm on Instagram. If you need to reach me personally with a message, I check Instagram. I don't really check any of my other ones. Instagram at SteveRam3. And I do also post, though, on Facebook, Steve Ram News, X, Steve Ram News, and I've also got a TikTok, Steve Ram3. But Instagram is where you're going to want to reach me. Hey, Steve, do you think that America is Mystery Babylon? Says Brandon The Rock. Brandon, great question. You know, some people think that. Some people think that it is another nation to come, or that it's going to be a combination of nations coming together. You know, that's eschatology. I don't think anybody knows for sure. But I'm going to say this for you guys. If you guys are interested in eschatology, prophetic word, and what is to come, I'm going to be having a special guest coming on the channel here very soon that's going to be answering those questions for you. So for that, you're going to want to stick around. I've got somebody that's going to be coming that you guys will enjoy. Somebody's saying that I've got 5 channels. No, but as far as news goes, this is the only active one. I do have like a Steve Ram Finance, but I haven't uploaded to that. And I've got like another channel that I haven't uploaded in quite some time. But this is primarily the only one. If you see all these other channels, there's tons that say Steve Ram. They're not me. In fact, on TikTok, there's like 30 profiles. And there's only one of them that's me, just Steve Ram 3. So please beware of the imposter channels, you guys. Yeah. So be sure to check it out. If you guys are interested, that is pinned in the chats. And I'm going to be updating you on there for the elections on November 5th. But I'll keep you guys up to speed on everything. That is the latest. Thank you so much for joining me. You guys have a blessed night, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. This is Steve.